Hi everyone, welcome to Soul Seekers Tarot and your reading. I'm Corey. So in today's reading we're going to be looking at something I think very interesting. It may not be to you, but sure is to me, being a mental health counselor. So how can you make sense of what's been troubling you? The question I have written down is, how can I make sense of what's been troubling me? And what will be the outcome when I do? So how can you make sense of what's been troubling you lately, and what will be the outcome when you do? So you kind of want to know how it'll work out, right? So this is the deck I've chosen for the introductory to pick the piles. I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you so much for coming by and watching the video. And if it resonates with you in any way, please give me a thumbs up. I like to see the thumbs up too. And comment, yeah, for sure. So let's find out from Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, what pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3 are for you to choose from. Okay, so pile 1, we've got emotions are energy in motion. Energy in motion, that's emotion. E for energy, and then motion is emotions. Card number 18, that's a 9, so it's an ending. Emotions are energy in motions. Okay, that's pretty card. Okay, pile 2, we have let this be your sign, card number 37, which is 10, which is 1, it's a new beginning. So we got an ending and a new beginning here for 2 different piles. And now finally for pile 3, the magic of nothingness. It's 34, which is 7, which is heaven. Heaven is the nothingness, or pure consciousness is nothingness, and which is God, or whatever you call all that is. Okay, so those are the 3 cards. Now, if you don't choose a card with your intuition, you might use a number. So I got some number dice here. If you remember last week, they all added up to 7, which is very interesting. Okay, so we got 3 and 4. Talk about 7. 3 and 4 for pile 1. Pile 2, we have 1 and 2. So that's not going to happen again. And for pile 3, we have 5 and 6. Okay. Now, if it's not numbers, then it'd be your zodiac sign. We have 4 for pile 1, 4 signs for pile 2, and 4 for pile 3. So, pile 1 has got Capricorn and Gemini, Leo and Cancer. Pile 2, we see Sagittarius and Taurus, with Scorpio and Aquarius. And finally, pile 3, we have Libra and Virgo, with Aries and Pisces. All right, so that's the 3 piles that we're going to look at here. You know, decide if you'll be watching maybe 1 or 2, but remember the numbers. If you're new to the channel, the numbers, you can look at it, either the 3 is going to resonate with you, or the 4 is going to resonate with you, or it can be 34 that resonates, or 43 that resonates, or if you add them together, it's 7. So now if it's just the 3 that resonates, let's just say, then this adds up to 3. So this pile could also be a pile that would resonate with you. You can watch both. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you right now. I'll be back in just a second, but take your time. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So you've chosen card number 18, emotions are energy in motion, for pile 1. We're looking at the questions, how can you make sense of what's been troubling you lately? And what will be the outcome when you do? All right, so this card here is a 9, which is an ending. of something. So emotions are energy, and motion just means that you're possibly changing the way you feel about something or someone. And if it wasn't the card that you chose the pile for, you chose the number 3 or 4, 34, 43 or 7. Okay, and if it's not that, you had your zodiac sign, you chose it with your zodiac sign. Maybe you're a Virgo or a Capricorn, not a Virgo, pardon me, Gemini or a Capricorn. We've got Leo or Cancer here. Okay, so these are the decks I've chosen to do this reading with. I've got the Major Arcana and then a little tarot deck to help clarify the Major Arcana. And then I've got Colette Baron Reid's deck, Wisdom of the Oracle. And I'm just going to put that there. And then I've got what we're going to do also. What I'm going to do is there's going to be 2 lines of tarot here, which is going to be addressing how can you make sense of what's been troubling you. And then there'll be 2 lines of tarot here that's going to address what will be the outcome when you do. But in between those 2 lines and these 2 lines is like, why are you facing this issue, this situation right now? Why? That'll give us an answer there, and then a little bit more of what may be going on that's been troubling you with respect to why. Okay, so that's how we're looking at these piles. So let's get started with the Major Arcana. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit for pile 1, please. What Major Arcana is going to address? How can pile 1 make sense of what's been troubling them? Why? And what will be the outcome when they do? We have got the Hermit, number 9. So changing the way you're feeling about something, feeling about someone, something. Okay, let's get clarification for Hermit, because that has to do with going inward, because possibly it's been so troubling for you. It's kind of like feeling like you're hitting rock bottom, or there's no further down than where you are right now is what you might be feeling. Broken heart or something like that. Disappointed. Something really didn't work out that you really were hoping, banking on it working out for you. And then we got the 6 of Flowers, which is the 6 of 6 of Flowers. Let me make sure. Flowers, I have to check the deck. Hang on a second, guys. Just let me get the deck. 6 of Flowers. It won't come out. Let's see what we got here. Alice in Wonderland. The Flowers. Hedgehogs or Pentacles. Flowers or what? Ace of Flower. And let me just read it. I'll be able to see. The Ace of Flowers represents new inspiration and ideas. You're feeling an exciting surge in your creativity. Embrace your visionary. That's the Ace of Flowers, right? So the 6 of Flowers, I'm thinking it's Wands. This is a victorious card. Yeah, 6 of Wands. And it's your time to shine. Others have noticed your success, and you're finally getting the recognition you deserve. Soak up the praise and be proud of what you've achieved so far. Okay, I'm going to leave this book out just in case I need to look at it again. All right. 6 of Flowers. Let me get my chair back in place here. Okay. So we got this victory and success with the Hermit. Okay, so it's clarifying the Hermit by saying you are figuring things out. You're getting things sorted out. You're feeling like you're able to climb out of the hole. The problem that you've been facing, you are headed towards victory and success, right? From being in troubled land, troubled waters kind of thing. Okay, let's get the Wisdom of the Oracle card, Archangel Michael. Observer. So the observer card is all about, you know, just hanging back and watching and waiting, which is a lot like the Hermit. You're observing things from a further away perspective so that you can get a clear picture of what you're facing. Okay, so let's get two rows of cards for how can I make sense of what's been troubling me. These tarot cards will address that. How can you make sense of what's been troubling you? It's already showing up in the cards already, that you are letting yourself, if you're not, you're being advised to let yourself see something from a different emotional perspective and put some distance between you and it so that you can have some more clarity, so that you can see what it is that you're facing. Because again, if you can make sense of what it is that you're facing, then you're going to triumph. You're going to be able to overcome, which is this. But you may need to seek some private, alone time in private. If you're a type of person who meditates or prays for help and assistance, then that's obviously something that during that time that you will be able to receive some guidance, right? Follow the light before you. It's an hourglass here, but there's usually a light in the tarot. So, victory and success. So let's see what we've got here. We've got 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, possibly feeling like you just, it is just overwhelming for you. Strength card. Yeah, nice. The Magician. Beautiful. That's victory and success. With the 9 of Pentacles. Beautiful. The Queen of Swords. Wonderful. That's strength again here. And then the 9 of Cups. Holy moly. Yeah. Okay, how can you make sense of it? So, what I'm going to do is, I'll put this here. What I'm going to do is get the why. Why is this going on? Why are you facing this at this time? To help you walk toward uncharted path. That card keeps popping up when I was doing pre-shuffling just to get the deck ready, and it flipped out of the deck. But while I was shuffling it, without a card flipping out, I just happened to notice it, like look at it, and that was the card that I saw. So it keeps standing out for a particular reason. Let's see what this deck has to say. The Crossroads. What major decision are you facing? What does each path represent? Interesting to you. And how do they reflect your values? So whatever path that you're facing, or a change in path because of the difference, right, in perspective, seeing something through new emotional lenses, right? Not rose-colored lenses, which may have been what had been kind of infiltrating your ability to move forward or to make a decision one way or the other. But now you're going to have more clarity because you're stepping back. You're being advised to step back from the situation, so that you're not so into it. It's not so in your face, because when we're just too involved in it, we don't count to 10 kind of thing. So we need to step back and count to 10 so we can get some time, good time and space between you and the problem, which could be a relationship. So a pile 1, I won't even, it won't be about whether it's going to be a relationship we're talking about, money problems or a job or not having one, health issue. We're not going to talk about any of that because you know what's going on. But what we're going to do is just look at these cards from a general point of view so that we can see what it is, how you can make sense of what's been troubling you. So it's been troubling you, no doubt. 5 of Pentacles. Now, it doesn't mean it's money, but it can be. But it also means it's a relationship. But it doesn't have to mean that either. Again, it could have something to do with your health. 5 of Pentacles, feeling like you don't, like with the health problem that you're facing, you don't feel like you've got anything under control. You don't have it under control, and it's sort of like driving you. It's a situation that is driving you instead of you managing it. Okay, so like I said, I won't go into a particular area of your life of how it's affecting it, but the whole situation that you're facing is to help you walk towards uncharted paths. So what happens is when we are facing a dilemma of whatever kind of problem, we are being asked to go deep within your, stop and think about it. Stop and give it time for you to kind of, marinate in the problem, but from a perspective of this is not where you're staying. You're not going to marinate to be cooked kind of thing. You're marinating just to come out sweeter, with the 6 of Wands, coming out sweeter and successful, in other words. Marinating in it, giving yourself time with the hourglass and the clock, giving yourself time to marinate in the situation gives you a chance to find a solution. And putting some distance between you and it, that solution can come up quicker, because you're going to be changing your emotional perspective about it. And the reason why your emotional, what's going to happen is the emotional perspective is going to lead you to being able to see that this was all about changing the current trajectory of your life, to be walking a different path that you haven't done before. So, and with the crossroads, it's like, I could go this way, or could go that way, or it could be that I could stay too emotionally involved in it to be able to make a successful or make a correct, or like correct for you decision or choice. Or you can go decide to think differently and feel differently about it, so that it actually puts you literally, because in life, in the universe, there's a myriad lifetimes, and then of course there's the dimensions on top of that, and the realms, and there is just there's billions of you in billions of different versions of this particular lifetime, on top of billions of you in versions of other lifetimes. So whenever you make a decision, you ultimately change your trajectory. Or if you make a decision that is something similar to what you're already doing, then you might be just changing tracks just slightly onto a different track, just slightly, but not enough to really notice, which is generally what we're doing every day. So every choice that we have, that we make a decision, we're bouncing around from one realm to another, from one parallel world or universe to another. And it's just so it's so subtle. It can be so subtle, or it can be quite a drastic change. It's always your decision, your choice, right? And you know that if you make a decision, let's say you're going to make a decision to break up with somebody, well, you're no longer going to be on that path that would go with that person. You're now going on a totally separate path from that person. This is you over here, you know? So you're a totally different path now than what you were when you were together doing this. Or you are going to make a decision to say, I want to, you know, my person is upsetting me right now, so I can look at it as somebody who I might say I don't want to be with this person anymore, but then you might make the decision that I don't want to not be with this person, so I'm going to give them a second chance, kind of thing. So you're still going on the same trajectory, you're just giving that path a little bit more time to marinate, you know, so to see how things go, that kind of thing. So we've got you, you know, feeling troubled, feeling like you're down and out, feeling like whatever. You're feeling troubled with the Five of Pentacles. And your strength right now has been kind of, it's been kind of waning, possibly. And your strength would be your faith in yourself, or the faith in your situation, maybe waning like this. So it's because that your faith in the situation is waning, your strength is waning, not being able to trust, or not being able to have faith, or having faith, and then one moment it's like, it feels like it's blown up in your face to trust someone, and the next moment you're feeling like, I can't trust this person. And you want to trust them, you want to trust the situation, but it turns out that it doesn't work out the way you were expecting it to. And so you are going to make sense of it by stepping into your strength, which is this energy here of going deep within yourself to look for, to ask for the solution to the problem. And the magician is one who is like, he or she, you know, he or she has a problem or dilemma or whatever, and whips up an appropriate solution because they have everything they need to do that with, you know, with all the suits, right? The magician has conquered all the suits. That's why it's a major arcana. It has been through all the suits of the wands, the swords, the cups, and the pentacles. It has grown. The magician has grown, and therefore is quite wise and quite capable of being a master manifester. So by being able to look at what you've got for here's your strength right here, right? For the Popeye character, he transforms himself into a, you know, like an incredible Hulk, kind of very muscular. He's otherwise very scrawny, little arms and legs and stuff like that. But when he eats spinach, when he consumes it, he transforms into this really very, very strong Popeye, you know, person, whatever. He becomes quite confident, and he becomes quite decision making and capable, and has the ability to move mountains, literally move mountains. And so when you are on your own with the Nine of Pentacles, you might be at this time feeling like you're out on a limb by yourself, that you don't really have a solution, that it's not forthcoming, and you're feeling like you're a little bit alone. Well, to try and make sense of it is to say that alone time is good. Alone time is fruitful. Being individually capable of spending time with yourself and being grateful for the time and the time that you have to do that, and the person that you are, and the strength that you know, the skills and abilities you have to be able to overcome, to master, and to manifest. With the Queen of Swords, making sense of it. The Queen of Swords is like a master of making sense of something, right? She is like, you know, look at me. All I do is seek the truth. I'm going to make sense of this situation, whether, you know, even if I have to die to make sense of it, I'm going to make sense of it. You know, I'm going to cut away all the illusions that I have created myself and the illusions from other people that are trying to possibly get in my way or persuade me to think or feel some other way. In particular, I'm going to cut right to the core of all of it and find the truth, the sword. And this is how you're going to make sense of it, wielding your sword of truth. You are, you know, a queen. You have evolved. You have grown. You are growing through this. It is like when you have to walk toward uncharted path, it means you have the wherewithal. You have the strength and the ability to you know, you've got the strength and the ability to be able to take on an uncharted path. Now, if the divine was saying, if the issue was, and the divine was saying, you're too emotionally unbalanced, there's too much of an emotional imbalance, then you wouldn't be ready to walk uncharted paths. You'd have to kind of, you know, you kind of graduate towards by walking slightly different paths, like I was saying before, how you got these alternative parallel worlds and universes of all the different life scenarios that happen as a result of that are there already. Like every possible life situation of yours. Okay, whether you're in the body you're in right now, or your soul is in another body living out a lifetime, being conscious of that. You are, there's everything has happened already. There is nothing new. Nothing new. It might seem like it is to us from our perspective. You know, it might seem that it's new to us, but really it's just us making the decision to say, okay, I choose this particular parallel universe, or this particular parallel world scenario of myself. I'm choosing that one to walk that right now. You are, you know, that with every decision, every choice we make, we're always stepping into different realms, you know, different alternative lifetimes. Always, constantly. Throughout the whole day. That's what we're doing. Because how many decisions do you make? Do I brush my teeth now, or should I just wait until after? You know, should I have coffee this morning, or should I just wait till I get to work and have coffee? You know, it's simple. It could be like, oh, do I go to the bank and withdraw $1,000 today, or should I just withdraw $999? You know, like it can be something so small or mundane to something like it's going to be a big change for you. Should I go to work? Today I'm not going to go to work. Well, guess what? Your boss expects you to be there, and you may be getting a phone call on your cell phone saying, where are you? And if you don't come into work, you know, you might as well not come into work tomorrow. Don't bother coming in. That, and if you're adamant about not going into work for whatever your reason is, then you've got a major change happening. You are now suddenly unemployed. So that's going to have a trickle down effect for you, right? At which it could be a trickle down for a while, but then it's going to just like trickling down for a while, because you know you don't have the income, and you've got things that you got to pay for and all this sort of stuff. You start getting calls for late payments and whatever it is, because you haven't found a job yet. Eventually it's going to get sorted out, and then you're starting to go back up again. So anyways, that's what you're doing. You're gonna wield your sword of truth to make sense of what it is that's going on. And this is how you can do this, okay? The Nine of Cups is like you're going to be feeling emotionally fulfilled. There's an emotional fulfillment about that's available to you about making the decision to step back from the situation and have a better look at it from, you know, more neutralized perspective. Okay, so let's find out how you can make and what will be the outcome when you do, from making sense of what's been troubling you. You're walking toward uncharted path. So if you have, for example, been working a 9-to-5, and you decide you're going to do, you know, I'm not going to work like that anymore. I'm going to own, you know, become my own business owner. I'm going to be self-employed. I'm going to employ myself. I'm going to start this business up. Well, and you've never done something like that before. That's uncharted territory for you. So the crossroads is basically you just got to make a decision about what is important to you about this situation, this dilemma, this problem, whatever's troubling you. Okay, so here's what we're looking at now, is what will be the outcome when you do the 7 of Swords. That, like, he's like looking at it and he's waving to the ship, like, and it's coming in. It looks like it's coming in. So he's like, come on over, come on, you know, it's all good. The Sun, even better. Yeah, and the King of Cups, feeling emotionally, like, really quite stable. With Ace of Cups, we were reading that one. Ace of Cups from this deck here. Yeah, so 7 of Pentacles, another 7. And Temperance, yeah, feeling at peace, feeling like everything's in balance now. Everything's in balance. So the outcome is that the 7 of Swords is like, hey, come over here. Look, we got all these weapons. Come on over. And I don't know what they're going to do, but that's up to you. What are you going to do when the ship comes in? What are you going to do when the ship comes in? 7 of Swords is like, it's like trying to ameliorate or trying to avoid having your best laid plans or your decisions to kind of erupt or to just blow up, kind of thing. Your best laid plans. 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords story is right. This guy's sneaking into the other camp and he's stealing their weapons, all their swords. And the idea is that if you look at it from the surface, it looks like they're being deceptive and cunning, you know, deceiving, and just not the type of person you can trust. You know, they're lying, they're stealing, they're cheating, that kind of thing. That's the surface. But if you look at what's going on below it, so whatever your situation is, it may feel like you are being cheated out of something, cheated by somebody, whatever your area of life you're talking about here. The surface level looks like you've been cheated, but if you look at it from a further away perspective as the observer, putting your emotions in check, okay, like they're changing the way you're feeling, like you're looking at something. Okay, they look like they're cheating and lying, whatever it is that I'm being cheated out, or something that should come to me didn't come to me. I'm losing out, and why is this other person getting what I should have gotten? That sort of stuff, right? You can look at it that way, or you can look at it as that this person is basically opening up a door for me to shine, because they're going to be found out. They're going to be seen for what they are at the surface level. But underneath that, if you look at it truthfully through the hermit wisdom, the eyes of the hermit, you will see that this person or this situation is happening. So it's kind of like a tower energy. It's happening so that the curtain can come down and you can see what's been going on behind the curtain or the closed doors, and it's going to be so like such a contrast between what you are perceiving it to be now to what really is going on, and you're going to come out smelling like roses. So that's the ship's going to come in. Ship's going to come in and they're going to say, hey, looks like you have been like busy making swords. Yeah, we need some swords. We're going to be sailing into uncharted waters, right? And we need some swords. I'm glad you've got some swords. We needed extra swords, or we needed extra fighter, people, the two here, Popeye and his big guy there. We need two more warriors, whatever. So it is like they're going to come in and they're going to see the situation in a different way, which is you coming in, the ship's coming in, you're going to be able to see it from a different perspective. You get what I'm saying, and then you're going to feel enlightened that this was all meant to happen for a reason. You have, what does each path represent and how do they reflect your values? You're going to be feeling like you have hit, not hit the jackpot, but you're going to be feeling like things are okay. Things are okay. They're not as bad as they seem to be. The King of Cups, you're stable in your emotions. You're feeling deeply, but you're not on this roller coaster ride of emotions, up and down. You're feeling quite stable now. You've got these beautiful dolphins pulling you along for a nice little ride on the ocean, and notice how the ocean is nice and flat. There's no big waves like this one here in the Strength card. So you've got, a life where life is now overflowing for you. This is the outcome. You're going to enjoy what it is that is going to be coming to you as a result of you changing, putting some distance between you and it, and then changing the way you feel about it, because you've changed the way you look at it with the Seven of Pentacles. You might want to look at this as going, oh, I've only got 7 pentacles. Well, if you consider the idea that in tarot there's only 10, you're doing really well with 7. Really well. And look at the sun coming up. You can see it as being something that is very fruitful for you, that's going to nourish you, the 7 of Pentacles, while you're on your way to growing towards the 10 of Pentacles energy. But you can relax and you can feel at peace and you can feel healed by what is going on and the decisions you've made and how things are working out for you. 7 of Pentacles, you're doing quite well already in the outcome, right? You're doing quite well already, but there's no stopping you. You can keep going, keep growing. And as a result, you're just going to realize that all of this happened for a reason. This situation that's been troubling you is to get you on a different trajectory, uncharted path, something that you haven't been walking before, you haven't tried before. So whatever that is for you, maybe it's like you decide you don't want to be with, you don't want to live in North America anymore, let's say, and you're deciding that you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend here in North America, but you got to leave them behind because you don't want to stay in North America, but they're staying in North America. They don't want to go anywhere else, whatever. So you're walking away from that because they're not going to grow with you. They're not going to go with you and they're not going to grow with you. You want to go to Italy or something like that. Never been there before. And now you've got to learn a new language. You've got to fit into, find a way to fit into the community. You got to find a place to live, work, and eat kind of thing. You're going to start meeting people of totally different culture. It's like you just took off from planet Earth and landed on Mars. You've got a whole new world in front of you that you have never been to before, experienced before. So pile 1, I hope that this was helpful to you in some way, so you can make sense of this by doing putting that distance, the space between you and it, going down deep. You'll be coming out of it smelling like roses with the Six of Wands. And your emotions are going to become more balanced. As a result, you'll be stepping out of the Five of Pentacles energy, and you're going to be feeling, you know, it's all about you finding time to, and appreciation for being able to be on your own about this, knowing that you've got everything that you need within you. The strength is going to, you know, it's about you not manhandling your situation. It's about you allowing your inner strength to come out and work on your behalf for you. And this is that you just ultimately looking at it through this, the lens of truth. What is it that you value? What is your truth? What is your truth? And it's about becoming emotionally fulfilled. Emotionally, that's how you're going to make sense of it, is that it's going to fulfill you emotionally. You are to become, allow yourself to be emotionally, you know, to be more emotionally stable. And then that is going to, you know, turn into this, the ship is coming in. You're going to be able to see things at a more deeper level, that it's not somebody, yes, it looks like they're taking your job. It looks like they're cheating on you, lying, whatever, at the surface. But underneath that, it's like this is it's kind of like a gift. It's kind of like it's an invitation brought to you by these people or this situation problem. It's an invitation for you to see what it's really about, to become enlightened about what it's really about, which is to help you walk towards an uncharted path, finding your stability in your emotions, loving your life, seeing that the Seven of Pentacles is pretty darn good, and you're quite happy with your how you've been able to acquire all that you needed to, because you can look at the Pentacles as being wisdom as well. So the wisdom that you've gained, and that has led you to being able to sit at the end of the dock and fish. You know, just enjoy the day, the sun's going down, and you're like fishing, but not really fishing. I mean, you fish, but you don't. You're just enjoying the day on the water. That is what is going to happen in your outcome when you do allow yourself to make sense of what's been troubling you. Because why is what is, like, which way do you go? You decide. Either I can look at it from the surface level, or I can go deeper and look at it from what's really going on here. How is this going to change my life if I were to allow myself to see things a little differently? Okay, pile one, hope that was helpful. Take care of yourself. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Hi, pile two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen this card, card number 37, which works to a 10, which is a 1, a new beginning for you. Let this be your sign, a new beginning. Isn't that a beautiful card? The stairs are going, it's not a really steep stairway. It's more like, it's just kind of, you know how sometimes there's staircases where the steps are really steep, and then there's staircases that, you know, there's just like one step and then right away there's another step, and it's just easy to take the staircase because you're not having to raise your foot up as high. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. So if it wasn't this card that you chose because of intuition, you haven't used it to choose how can you make sense of what's been troubling you, and what will be the outcome when you do. You have chose this pile because of the numbers, which is 1 or 2 or 12 or 21 or 3 resonated with you. If not that, it was your zodiac sign. So your zodiac sign would be Sagittarius or Taurus, Scorpio or Aquarius. All right, now these are the decks I've chosen. What we're going to do is we're going to pull out these 3 here first. Let this be a sign what's going on with you, the trouble that you're facing. This Y deck is going to give us the reason why you're facing it. And this deck here is going to give us the reason, a little bit more information, like a question about it. Okay. Then I have 2 lines of that's going to address how can I make sense of what's been troubling you. And then 2 lines over here of what the outcome will be when you do. And then the middle is the why is this going on? Why is this happening? Okay, so let's get started with the major arcana. How can I make sense of what's been troubling me? And what will be the outcome when I do? All right, Archangel Michael. We have Judgment. Facing Judgment Day. Making a decision. Being called to make a decision. Let this be your sign. Being called to make a decision. Let's get clarification for the Judgment card. Three of Pentacles. Okay, that's choosing to collaborate. Choosing to collaborate, to work on it with others. So this could have something to do with your work life, but it could have anything to do with any area of your life. It could be health, a situation, health situation. It could be money situation. It could be a relationship situation, or it could be work, career situation, or even education. Okay, let's get wisdom of the Oracle. Call it Baron Reed. Okay. A leg up. You're going to get help. Help to look at this. Card number 34, which is 7, right? Spiritual help. Spiritual help is helping you to see things. See things from a calling perspective, making a decision because it's the right thing to do, to work on this problem with others, with someone else, with others. So there's a situation that you are facing that's calling you to not take this on by yourself, to not call this problem yours and yours alone. This troubling thing that you're facing. Try and make sense of that. Okay. How can you make sense of that? Archangel Michael. Five of Tides, which is, I believe, the Five of Cups. Five of Cups, Five of Tides. Let me see. I got to get my little book out. Make sure. Five of Tides. I was going to have that. Yeah, it's Five of Cups. I was going to have that already, but I forgot. So Five of Tides is the Five of Cups. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. Destiny. Wheels turning in a destiny way, like not karmic. The Chariot had been. Things have been kind of stale for you, stalemate, not moving. But you can look at it from like, this is going to make you move. Six of Spears is the Six of Swords. That's finding a solution where the solution wasn't before. The Sun, wow. And the Five of Branches, which is the Five of Wands, which is conflict. Conflict, chaos, and conflict. Okay. So, you might be arguing with yourself, or you might need to argue a little bit with yourself here. Okay? So, how can you make sense of what's been troubling you? You can do that by allowing yourself to receive help, okay? And spiritual help can come through others. You know, if you're trying to tackle something on your own, the divine is saying, let this be your sign that you will be more, you will find a solution, be more successful. You'll be able to overcome, you know, ascend and overcome the mountain before you by following the calling of others wanting to help you, or you reaching out to others for help. Okay? Making that decision to do that. Because otherwise you're in the Five of Cups energy of feeling like, feeling like you're crying over spilt milk, or feeling like there's a situation that you're facing and there's no way out of it. There's just no way out of it. And you know with the Five of Cups card, right? There's the Two of Cups behind you, which we don't see. The Three of Cups is we're focusing on the problem too much and not seeing the potential. Okay, so by focusing on the potential of what it could become is how you can make sense of what's troubling you. You can see it from the this is your destiny. This is going to improve your life by involving others in the situation, or if it's a situation you're working with others in and it's been troubling, you're going to allow these others to help you see it differently, to help you overcome. You know, that as a group, as two or three or more people, you're going to be able to overcome, and you're going to find a solution and realize that your destined path was to be in this situation, this problem, this trouble with others for a growth reason. Let's find out what that is first before we go any further. Okay? Why is this happening? Why is this happening to you, or to you and your group? Why is this happening, Archangel Michael? Okay. I got my deck upside down. Because you're being tested. You're being tested for your mustard, right? You test it to see how much mustard you have. Mustard, right? Is that what it is? Mustard? Yeah, because you're being tested. Let's get a little bit more information. The open door. Beautiful. An opportunity has arrived. Are you ready to step through? What's holding you back and what's pulling you forward? I think what this is saying is that what's holding you back is that you're not allowing yourself to be collaborative, to be, a lot of people, a lot of times we're facing a problem that involves others too. But we have an idea and we think, well, let's just do this, or I'm going to try that. So we're not really working as a team, not really working or making decisions, or even discussing it, collaborating, having a discussion about how you're going to move forward with these others. That possibly you have been looking at this as just being your problem, and it might not be just your problem. It might be like the trickle effect, or the pond where you got the ripple effect, where it's landed on your lap, plunk, like the pebble in the water, but it's going to affect this person, have an impact on that, and this, that, and the other thing, so forth and so on. You may not be seeing it from that. So let this be your sign that whatever you see as being your problem alone, it's having an impact on others, on your group, on your team, on your family, on your employer, whatever it is. I'm not going to get into a particular area of life. I'm just generalizing this for everybody, because you know what your trouble is. I don't know what your trouble is. Okay, so that you're facing. So you're being asked to allow others to help you. The divine comes through the help of others, as I said before, with the 34, getting a leg up, right? And you're being asked to seriously stop looking at it from, this is your problem alone, or I'm not really, even though I'm in a team, I'm not really functioning as though I'm in a team. I'm not really making decisions as though I'm in a team. You're being asked to to realize that this is not just for you to take on. It has something to do with you being able to allow yourself to be part of a group or a team or part of a solution for the problem that involves other people, not just you. Okay, so this is a destined path for you. You're not really, you hadn't been seeing it that way before. It's more like a karmic thing for you. It goes this way instead of the destiny, the wheel of fortune going that way for you. You're not going to be seeing the value. You haven't been able to see the value in involving others. Okay, and it's been not allowing you to move forward. You have been feeling like you're stuck in a situation that there's no solution with the Six of Swords, and that you just can't see the forest for the trees right here. You can't see the forest for the trees. So this is what's going on, is that how you can make sense of it is literally by turning around and looking to a different approach, okay, which could be as simple as making a decision to ask someone else for help. Maybe you have a financial issue and you might have to go to some investors or a bank for a loan, whatever. Okay, you're going to be seeing that this is going to be something very, very valuable to you to be facing this. It's going to put you on the trajectory of being fortunate, right? That's it. That's all about you finding value in what's going on with your situation right now, that things are not as bad as you think they are, and you're going to unstuck yourself here. You're going to make sense by saying, you know what? I have been holding myself. I've been limiting myself. I've been putting a glass ceiling over me because I have been thinking that I'm in this all alone, and you're not. Let this be a sign. It's like a divine calling card that says this has everything to do with you and everyone else, because we're not in this life alone. They say we're not a one-man island. We are, whatever we think and do impacts everyone, including the collective, the entire collective. Okay, so you're going to be seeing how you can get yourself out of not having an emotional, balance of stability because you're worried, concerned, this, that, and the other thing. You're going to find a solution to bring you into more hope, feeling more hopeful, feeling like things are going to improve. Okay, but you have been, like, again, hanging out too much in emotional chaos, let's say emotional chaos, or emotional like this is too much, I can't do this, it's all on me, this, it's like feeling as though you have too much to bear, too much on your shoulders. It is you alone in your boat on the ocean. Okay, so it's like you alone on the boat, in the boat on your ocean. Now, in the Six of Swords, other decks, there's somebody who's actually rowing the boat, someone who's helping you, right? Like the leg up, to move from the rougher waters. And it's not just you. You've got a kid or two or another person with you, plus the Six Swords, which is the lessons that you've learned, the wisdom that you take with you, that helps you move into calmer waters. So this is it. How can you make sense of it? Is that you need to allow yourself to realize you're not a one-man island. You're not the only one. You're not in the boat alone. Look around, like the Two of Cups, right? Look around and see that you're in this with others. Others can help you. Okay, and making sense of it is by being able to see that you haven't been able to see the forest for the trees. Stepping back and being enlightened by the realize that the forest itself is full of trees that can shade you, protect you, be firewood for you, to keep you safe, to keep you, you can also use a tree to demark where you are, in perspective to how you got into the forest and how you're going to be able to get back out of the forest, like leaving trails of popcorn. Instead, you're just marking the tree. You can use that, or if you're not marking it, you just go by looking at the tree and say, okay, this tree looks like that. I'll remember that, whatever, however it works for you. But it's like seeing the forest, like seeing the value in the forest. Not being able to see the forest for the trees was the problem. Now you're seeing like the bounty. Look at all the what do you call these guys? Sunflowers there that are waking up. You know how a sunflower field, the head of the sunflower at night goes down like this, right? And then the sun comes up, it comes up and it'll turn to wherever the sun is, and it'll follow the sun. And it's so beautiful to drive by. I don't know if you have it in your country, but in the United States, especially in the northern states, I've driven by fields, large fields of sunflowers, and they're all facing the same direction, and it's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful sight. So it just goes to show the beauty in the world, right? So you are going to be able to see the value you're going to be able to see the forest by acknowledging each tree and what value it has for you, and that each tree could be the people that can help you. Okay, so you're being tested. It seems like you're being tested to, look at the star cards coming out as an outcome. You're being tested to give up the idea that you'd have to do this on your own, that you have to face this troubling situation on your own. Even if it's an emotional relationship troubling situation, let's say someone's broken your heart, whatever, you don't have to deal with this broken heart, this troubling situation on your own. You can call up your mother or your father or your sister or your brother or a great aunt or somebody, a great friend, whatever, and talk to them about it. Get it off your shoulders and ask them for their opinion. How you can look at this as opposed to the way you had been looking at it, and you might be able to see the silver lining in it, right? Might be able to see the silver lining in the clouds that you're facing right now. That one obviously wants to be seen. So we got the star card for what will become the outcome when you do. Seven of Swords, isn't that interesting? Seven of Swords came out as an outcome card in pile 1 as well. The Ace of Stones, which is the Ace of Stones, is Pentacles. Wow, okay. Knight of Spears, Knight of Swords. Yeah. Fast incoming. The fastest, right? Justice, balance, maybe a legal situation is going to clear up for you. With Judgment, second time, answering the call. You're answering the call, and so the judgment is going to go your way. So for some of you, it might simply be you're facing a legal problem and you're scared. You're scared of how it's going to turn out, what the decision of the judge is going to be in your favor or in the other person's favor. So the outcome is going to be that balance is going to be restored. That the star is all about, a wish being fulfilled, right? That there's going to be healing and enlightenment here. So you are definitely going to finding the value here. Because you're being tested, you're going to be passing the test with flying colors. And it's going to lead you to overcoming this situation, achieving whatever, overcoming it, solving it, whatever it is for you in your situation. And the Seven of Swords, again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the Seven of Swords is like, it is like you could feel like you've been cheated, but if you look at it from the perspective that there's other people that can help you, they're going to give you a different perspective and say, hey, maybe this was all about you being tested, to be able to find a way to say, I'm going to use my strength and abilities to overcome this by asking for help from others. How can I look at this differently? Even if you have to go to a mental health counselor, let's just say, you might use your mental health counselor, somebody that you're going to collaborate with, to help you see that this is a judgment on you, that you are being asked to answer to, and you're feeling like it's been something that is just for you and you alone, that's something that you've got to deal with, it, that you just feel so overburdened and encumbered to having to walk this path of trouble, or of trouble on your own. You've just been feeling alone, but looking at the problem too closely, too intimately, instead of seeing the Two of Cups, and you turn yourself, your perspective, into saying, I can get help. I can get help. And so this whole thing is about you seeing that this is a sign for you to start operating like your MO, modus operandi. Your MO is going to be, whenever I face a problem, for most things, right? Whenever I face a problem, I'm going to reach out for help. I'm going to reach out. I'm not going to say, oh, this is all mine, and I'm going to have to deal with the consequences and deal with possibly overcoming this all on my own. It's all for me. A lot of people are like that. They don't want to let go of the control of there being a problem and being able to be the one to find the solution, because it might seem like it's an indication, or it's telling people that how maybe you're we're too weak. We're weaker than we want to be seen as. We want to be seen as strong, somebody who can take care of our own, that kind of thing. So it is this situation's asking you to let go of that. Let go of that and say, instead of feeling like you've been cheated, see it for the other perspective, which is that you are actually avoiding. It's like dodging the bullet. If you can, let's just put it this way, if you were to continue to approach this trouble that you're experiencing right now as being only yours and yours alone, and you're not going to even tell anybody about it, you don't want anyone to know, it's like something that you got to deal with, and no one else it's none of their business, this, that, and the other thing. So you keep it all to yourself, and it could be like a legal problem that you're maybe too embarrassed to tell somebody about. Whatever it is, you're being asked to stop looking at it like that, number one. And number two is to see it for how you're going to be, by involving others, you're actually finding a solution that you not have thought of yourself. You wouldn't have thought about yourself. And it's going to be like you're going to dodge the bullet of what the judgment, the legal, the court case, or the outcome would be. You're going to dodge the bullet of what it could otherwise be, because you're involving someone else. You're opening up the door to allow others to come in. You're inviting a solution by opening up the door, that you're saying you're being tested to be ready to step through what has been holding you back, and what's pulling you forward is the idea that there's other people who can help you. Like you might actually hire a lawyer, or seek some kind of legal advice if it's a legal situation. But if it's not that, it's just that balance is coming in, and it's because you're answering the call to become more of a collaborator instead of doing things all on your own. Okay, so Ace of Stones is that you're going to be receiving, balance. You're going to be balanced, and you're going to be like heading towards a great big blessing. Could be prosperity, it could be whatever it is, but it's a blessing of a new path, a new walk, a new direction for you, because you're going to be, Knight of Spires, you're going to be taking in as much information as you possibly get as fast as you can, because you're going to be talking to more people, or at least one more person. You're going to be getting information that you need so that you can balance out the situation. It's going to become just, and it's like the judgment is going to go in your way, and you're making that decision to allow it to be just, if it's not a legal court case. But in any case, if it's a legal court case for you, the judgment is going to go in your way, and it's going to be a just situation for you. And for the other person, of course, they'll get what they deserve. You get what you deserve. So if you are worried about how a legal situation is going to go, it's going to go in your favor right here. Okay, so I hope that made sense to you. So how can I make sense of what's been troubling you? How can you make sense of what's been troubling you? By allowing yourself to involve others. You're being called to act, to collaborate with the Three of Pentacles. This is your sign that you don't have to do things on your own. This is your sign that you do not have to try and be the one who's, strong and capable of being in control of all things all the time, and you don't need anyone else to help you. You turn around, you stop focusing on what's before you, because that's going to help you make sense of seeing that there is potential. There is a potential for a new opportunity, a door to be open to the solution. That you've seen value in that there is value by involving others, and that's going to get you, it's going to get you unstuck and on your way to a solution. You're not the only one in the boat. Remember that, because that's the Six of Swords. You're not in the boat by yourself. In fact, you've got somebody helping you, rowing the boat. And you're going to see the forest now as being something of great value to you. And that's, the forest is like the trees, the people. Okay? The people, places, and things that can assist you. You're being tested. That's what this is all about, to see to open up a door to allow others to help you. And when you do, a wish is going to be fulfilled. You're going to be dodging a bullet, and you're going to be on a new path of great, life resources. Like your blessings and blessings. Because you're going to be getting a lot of information, a lot of vast incoming information. It's going to be totally helpful to you, to help you open up your eyes to the endless possibilities, the opportunities, by having the door open to you, opening up to allowing others to help you. It's going to help you to balance out a situation that you are making the decision to allow that to happen. Or the legal system, if it's a legal problem, like I said before, the judgment's going to go in your way. So that's what I have for you, Pile 2. I hope that was enlightening for you. I hope it was helpful. And thank you so much for watching the video, and take care of yourself. Bye for now. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You've chosen this card, number 34, which is 7, the magic of nothingness. And nothingness is the opposite of everything, right? Of all things. Things, right? Physical. Nothingness is the emptiness, which is pure consciousness, the pureness of what we are. There's no delusion. I will read the description from this card from the book, but this is the card you might have chosen with your intuition to address the questions that we have, which is, how can I make sense of what's been troubling you or me? And what will be the outcome when you do? Okay, if you didn't choose it with your intuition, you chose with the numbers. So we got 5 or 6, or we got 56 or 65 or 11 if you add them together. And if it wasn't the numbers, it was the zodiac sign that brought you to this pile. We have Pisces and Libra, with Aries and Virgo. Okay, So these are the decks that I've chosen for pile 3, and we're going to choose the Major Arcana first. So what we're going to do, Major Arcana, Tarot to clarify the Major Arcana, then a Wisdom of the Oracle to give us some more information, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to use the Tarot to bring 2 lines of cards to address how can I make sense of what's been troubling me. And then in the middle, we've got a why is this happening? And so a little bit more information about that. And then 2 more lines of tarot here to address what the outcome is going to be when you do. Okay, so let's start off the Major Arcana. Now, I won't be addressing, like I often give examples. I won't really be addressing a particular area of life, but this could be whatever's troubling you. It could be your health, it could be money or lack thereof. It could be a relationship, a career, a job, education, whatever. Okay, so we got the Magic of Nothingness with the Hermit. Now that Hermit card, different deck, came out for pile 1 right there. A lot of deep thinking. Let's get clarification for that. And we've got the 8 of honey pots. So the 8 of cups. Honey pots. Winnie the Pooh. 8 of cups, walking away. But towards something. Magic of Nothingness. Okay, let's get Wisdom of the Oracle from Call It Baron Reed. Soulmates. Beautiful. I was wondering about that. Heaven. Heaven, heaven, heaven. Soulmates. Okay. I'm going to read this card here first. The Magic of Nothingness. There is magic to be found in nothingness. When you stop everything and allow yourself space, something that you miss when you are rushing around begins to unfurl. It is the space of creation, the space where an idea can drop in, a problem can be solved, an argument can be understood, or a vision can appear. Okay, so it's a space, the nothingness. After you have read this card, you are invited to do 10 minutes of nothing. Put everything down, move away from distractions, and just sit. So the nothingness is space, but it's making room for spirit to come in and infuse you with a solution. Don't try to change or control anything. Instead, just observe what is. It's interesting. It's a lot like pile 1. There is no outcome in mind, no goal to reach, just a pause. It should be an easy task, yet in our fast-paced world, it can feel like the most challenging practice of all. The more moments of nothingness we invite into our lives, the more magic begins to appear. When you are busy, you repeat the same actions and behaviors again and again without noticing. But when you stop, you realize that every moment, every breath is unique. You may just realize how much you have been missing out on. How to tap into the magic of nothingness? Commit to a daily practice where you can switch off and stop for 10 minutes. If you can be out in nature, that's even better. Put away all distractions, but have nowhere to be and just begin to explore what you witness or observe. Your mind may wander. Your to-do list might pop into your mind. Notice it all and stay committed to doing nothing. Every day will bring something new for you to discover. Beautiful. So it's about allowing the time and space between you and the problem, the trouble that you're facing. Like purposely putting yourself into hermit energy, walking to be able to leave something behind, right? And walk towards something that's even better. Because, you know, the 8 of Cups, when you're walking away from something, you're walking towards the 9 of Cups, which is like emotional fulfillment. So whatever you thought emotionally satisfied you, fulfilled you, you know, in the 8 of Cups, the cups are spilt, or the honey pots are spilt. You know, it may not be on here, but there is. And it's an emotional investment that you're walking away from. You put a lot of your emotions into it, which is, you know, there's only 10 cups in the tarot. So 8 is a lot of emotional investment. So there's something you got to walk away from so that you can walk towards something better. A 9 of Cups, and then 10 of Cups right after that, with a soulmate on your path that maybe you may or may not realize right now. But you are to step into the land of nothingness and look for a light, you know, to ask for guidance. There's a light. There's the light, the moon. Ask for guidance, trouble, clarity through your trouble. So solitude brings enlightenment. A period of introspection awaits, guiding you to discover the light within and the truths you seek. So why are you going through a situation that you've got to walk away from? You're being forced or asked to, or you're deciding to walk away from something. Okay, so for these 2 lines, we're going to talk about how you can make sense of it, of what's troubling you. And then we're going to do the why and a little bit of information about it, and then the outcome after that. All right, so let's get, you know what, I want to do the why first, and then we'll do that. What is the why? Why is pile 3 facing this trouble right now? Because it's not aligned with your truth. That makes a lot of sense. Look at they're walking away. Where? I don't know. I think it's the back is to us. Yes. So this person is walking away so they can find their truth, find their clarity, find what is right for them, what is aligned for them. Okay? It's not aligned with your truth. So you're walking towards your truth, leaving your current situation behind. Relationship, money, problems, whatever it is. However you're thinking about it. The hidden village. What part of yourself remains unseen or unexplored? How might you rediscover this hidden piece of your identity? There's something to do with whatever your troubles is that's keeping you from being your true self. From, you know, expressing yourself, or expressing yourself in creative ways, like seeing yourself in a different light than what the situation might, you know, like it's like let's say you're in a relationship, and I know I'm not going to do examples, but let's say you're in a relationship. The person you're with and the person you are when you're with that person might not be the person you truly are. And you've coming to realize that. But the outcome will be that if you are to realize that and to, you know, to operate on a conclusion or a solution of the problem that you're not yourself when you're with this person, it means you got to leave that person because you feel like you need to be someone else for them in order to make them happy, but just making you miserable because you're not truly being who you really are. You're kind of like been wearing a mask, been wearing an illusion. There's a whole other self of yourself that it hasn't been bringing you any kind of peace or potential for growth, but also for attracting good things into your life and good people into your life, better people. Yeah. Okay, so did I do this already? I have no idea. So we're going to look at how you can make sense of this. You've got someone who is more in line with your true self, or you've got a situation that's more in line with your true situation, your true perspective, what's really your truth. But you've got to honor the nothingness, like you've got to go inward with the Hermit to realize what you need to do. and how it's going to be beneficial to you to seek the truth. We have the Four of Pentacles, holding on tightly to something like this. This person's holding on tightly to that pillow, which would be a source of comfort, you know, familiarity, because they got the jars of coins here. As I said, I can't see what they say, but jars of coins, holding on tightly to your investment, to the comfort of the relationship, the comfort of the situation you're in, because you may have been in it for a while. Nine of Cups, not seeing it for how it can be, how it can fulfill you if you were to walk away. I'm going to get the rest of the cards out. The Chariot, that's interesting. That card was here, different deck, in pile 2. Might be interested in that. The Knight of Cups. Ooh, okay. That's someone who adores. Strength. Lovely. Look at Grandma. Letting that kid just be the orangutan around her. And she's just got a smile on her face and just loving it. Loves it. Loves spending time with her grandchild. No matter how crazy they might act. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Then the Six of Pentacles, yeah, look at reaching out. Whatever you give, you're going to get back. It's like you've been giving something or someone you're not true self. You're not true truth. You're not true truth. You have been living in the land of illusion, in the sense that you have been trying to maybe make others happy, or trying to make yourself happy by living a lie. Thinking that that's what it would take, is to be in a situation that doesn't make you uncomfortable, or to be in a situation that makes you uncomfortable, and you think that that's going to make you happy. Like you may have been promoted to a position that pays you a lot more, and you've asked for it. You've asked for that role, convincing your employer. I'm not saying you're doing this, just an example. I said I wouldn't, but you know, I can't help it. You're gonna, you're convince your employer that you're ready, that you can do this, you can lead a team, you can manage a team, and all the jobs and duties that everybody has to do, that you're going to be able to be on top of it, and you're going to make your team a success, which makes the company profitable. And you really, really want this, because your honeypot's going to be even bigger, more salary, whatever, more money. But you get the promotion, and things, maybe the team members, your subordinates, they're not really warming up to you, or whatever the situation. They're just making things very, very difficult, and you just hate it. You go home at night crying, or you go home at night just angry because your new job, and the money you're getting, although it seemed like it was going to be a good deal, a good idea at the time, you're just hating every moment of it. But you're in that position, so it's either suck it up and keep being miserable, or walk away from it by saying to your boss, you know what, I thought I was ready for it. I apologize. Is there any way that I can, go back to my old job, or do something different, right? Which would be, you'd be making less, you won't be making the same amount of money, but you're willing to do that because you want to be happy. You don't want to be in a job, in a position that's going to keep you feeling miserable, because you thought you could be this person for them, for the company. And same with the relationship. You thought you could be this person for your person, that you believed that your person would like you better, would accept you better if you were a certain way with them, if you were a different person than what you really are, or who you really are. Okay, so making sense of this, right? Making sense of this, that you have been holding on tightly to the familiar, to what's comfortable, and it's been holding you back. So you're basically holding yourself back. Now, this is how you make sense of this, because it's whatever it is that you need to walk away from is no longer for your highest good. It's not aligned with your truth. It's not what you really are. It's not who you really are. It's not what you really are capable of. It's just not. Nine of Cups is like you could be tipsy kind of thing, having one too many drinks, right? Cups of wine or cups of whiskey, whatever it is. You could be over embellishing. You could have been overindulgent in what you think, what you perceive to be what the other person wants. Overindulged in that, like having a mask on or having rose-tinted glasses on, seeing things for how they really aren't, and making it so. Now, I got Captain Kirk would say, or Captain Pickard would say, make it so. Make it so. So you would do, that's what you're doing, is that you are overindulgent in kind of like letting the shiny, the glare, the glitter, all that glitters kind of thing, that they have that card in Wisdom of the Oracle, all that glitters, right? Being awestruck by or being led by all that glitters. It could be the money, it could be just the status of a relationship, just being in a relationship and not being single. It could be the person that you're in a relationship with. Maybe it's somebody that you like put on a pedestal, and you think there's other men or women out there that would love to be with your person, but that they're not, you are. But in order for you to be with them, you right from the get-go were possibly pretending to be someone who was at their level that you believe they're at, right? And it doesn't mean what you see or believe is the truth. It's just how you're perceiving things. You're perceiving the person, you're perceiving what you think they expect from you, and so forth and so on, right? Whatever, but it's not the truth. So you're making sense of it by saying, I see how I've been overindulgent in not being authentic, if you put it that way. Not being authentic. Not seeing it for what it really was or really is. I have been allowing my person or my situation, your company, your boss, your doctor. You go to the doctor, for example, you go to the doctor and you're having some real bad like pains in your back, and it radiates out to your front, and it's probably kidneys or something like that, but you're just saying, you're playing it down because you don't want to find out that you need kidney dialysis, or that you need to have some kind of test, where they're going to stick a scope up you. I don't know. I hate having to go for any kind of medical test. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Because they always put you through such excruciating discomfort in order to be able to have the test run. Like if you have to get an ultrasound done, they got to use your bladder as a window, so you've got to drink like 10 pints of water and go to the appointment and wait while your bladder is about ready to bust, but they're not ready to see you, and you're sitting there with your bladder full. Oh my God, I'm thinking, what is this all about? It's like, it's torture, right? So anyways, you might be feeling like you're being tortured. But if you don't do what you're perceiving the other person wants from you, that it's going to come back, it's going to be backlash on you, and you're going to be feeling the torturous effects of it, the consequences that you believe are not going to be kind to you, whatever. Okay? So you can see how you've been holding yourself back. Look, he still has his finger on the Knight here. And he hasn't let it go yet, or he hasn't moved it yet. And that's where you're at, is that you can see that how it's holding you back. You're not happy. You're simply just not happy. You're not happy with your life, and you're not opening yourself up to love showing up on your doorstep, you know, at least in your driveway. You're not, you know, this is a relationship situation. I really believe that that's what this is. It's a relationship situation for you, pile 3. But, you know, there is somebody else for you that either you know of now or you will know of, and they're going to fall, like they're going to adore you. They want to be everything for you. They want to gift you their love, their attention for the person that you really are. Okay, so you're holding yourself back from your sense, you know, you're making sense out of this. You're holding yourself back from being able to be with somebody who is a really great true match for you, as opposed to the one that you're with, that you're being, you know, you're not being your true self with. And you're seeing how, you know, it's just all fun and games for them. That one right there. That you have been, as a really great grandma, not saying you're a grandma, but as a really great grandma, you just put up with it because you know kids, you had kids, and you were once a kid. So you know kids, and you know that they're just having fun, even though they're all over you. They're having fun. But your person is having fun. This is your person having fun at your expense. And you're supposed to smile. You're supposed to smile and say, yeah, you know, I'm fine, everything's great. Yeah, I love how you're having fun like that. Yeah, I love that you have fun. Yeah, I'm loving that you have fun, even though I'm not. I love that you have fun. Yeah. And it's not been an equal give and take for you. You're seeing that. You give a lot to this person or relationship or situation. You give a lot to it, but you haven't been getting it's not balanced. You haven't been getting it back. But why? Because you haven't been being your true self. You haven't been expressing your like, if you want to say, demands or your expectations. You haven't been saying how you're perceiving things. You're not aligned with your truth. You've been holding back. You've been hiding yourself within the village. You know, you just kind of like was it the wallflower at a dance kind of thing, where all these girls are lined up against the wall, and they're all just a bunch of sitting there hoping some really great, attractive looking student is going to come over and ask them to dance, but they never do. So they're all just standing there like waiting, as though there were like flowers up against the wall, and no one wants to touch them. No one wants to pick them. And so that's what you're feeling like, is that you have been chosen, you've been picked, but it's under the illusion that you are someone who you really aren't. So what part of yourself remains unseen or unexplored? How might you rediscover this hidden piece of your identity? By allowing yourself to let go, to be unindulged, to stop indulging in the falseness of being someone you aren't really, to allowing yourself to move forward in life by walking away. Remember, 8 of Cups, walking away from that emotional investment towards a 9 of Cups, where this 1 cup is going to come along and complete you with the 10 of Cups. Someone loves you, a soulmate, that you're not going to put up with the antics of this person enjoying themselves at your expense anymore. You're going to be making sure that life is all about fairness, balance, equal give and take. Yes, this is how you've been making sense of it, that you haven't been doing any of that. Okay, that's it. You haven't been doing any of that. So it's not aligned with your truth. So we're going to look at, when you get yourself into alignment, as I went through this, you stop hanging on to familiarity and comfort and walking away. That's how you become aligned with your truth. Be prepared to sit in the 9 of Cups of emotional fulfillment, in the sense that you're going to be speaking your truth. Yeah, You're going to be speaking truth. You're going to be letting your person know that, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. You know, you might say, yeah, a lot of this is my fault because I thought you needed me to be something else, and you know what, it was okay for a while, but I just find I'm not happy and I can't keep doing it this way. I'm not happy, you know, something like that. I feel like I'm holding myself back from my true happiness to being myself in a relationship with somebody who sees me for who I truly am and adores me regardless, and doesn't, you know, take me for granted and wants to give me everything in return of what I give. It's not been an equal give and take. So that kind of thing, right? So now we're looking at what the outcome will be if you do. What will be the outcome when you do? Because you're going to do it. You're going to do it. Okay, when you do. We have the Five of Cups. My God. Five of Cups. Okay, that was in pile 2. Sheesh. Okay. You're going to be turning around and you're going to be seeing that there is someone who's a perfect match. Those 2 glasses right there. You're going to be turning around because you're walking away, right? You're turning your back to all that wasn't working out for you. All your unhappiness wasn't working out, and see that there's somebody really attractive walking towards you that says, you're my 2 of Cups. And you're going to take a leap of faith and say, hell yes, yes. And then the world, you're going to cross the finish line. Wow, these are great outcomes. With the King of Wands. Yeah, that's that guy there. The King of Wands. Oh my God. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Oh my God, there's their perfect match right there. There's your perfect match. There's your 2 of Cups. Your perfect match. Your equal give and take. Your balance. Your 9 of Cups that becomes a 10 of Cups. Right? Wow, Archangel Michael, you're just so cool. Okay, and then, let's see. Where was this here? Yeah. Wow. And then 10 of Cups. You can't make this stuff up, as they say. You can't make this stuff up. So yeah, I don't have to say anything more, do I? I mean, seriously, the outcome is that you're going to be facing someone, because you're going to turn around because you're walking away from what is not your truth. You're going to be aligning with your truth. You're going to be seeing someone that you really are going to be attracted to, is going to be a perfect match for you. 2 of Cups, because you're seeing the 2 of Cups. You're taking that leap of faith and saying, yep, I'm walking away to something better for you. That's going to make me feel really successful, right? Really a winner, crossing the finish line, putting the old chapter behind me with a brand new chapter in life. With who? The King of Cups. Who's that? Got the Knight of Cups for you. You are like, yee-hoo, I'm sizzling hot now. Yeah, I'm sizzling hot now. And this person, he's all business. He's saying like, you're the one for me. You're the one for me. And we're doing 10 of Cups now. We are 10 of Cups. I'm going to be asking you for your hand in marriage. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. But in any case, you're going to be truly blissful and happy. Now, this might be you, and this might be your person, you know, your 10 of Cup person. You take it as how it resonates, but you're going to be truly blissful. That's your outcome, pile 3. I don't think it could get any better. So I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoyed it, and take care of yourself, and thanks for watching the video. Bye for now.